Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. Hope everyone's doing great today. Well, on this video, I'm gonna I'm gonna base this video is gonna basically be about some of the comments from the video that I made yesterday. So this video is gonna kind of be a continuation of that. Well, kind of a continuation of the video that I made yesterday. A little different though. Now, the commenter that I was responding to on the video that I made yesterday, I do have to admit that this individual had a very valid argument in response to the video that I made yesterday, responding to their comment. So let me read it and then we'll have a brief discussion. And then after that, there's another comment that I may or I may not read for verbatim, but we're going to discuss that comment as well. So let's keep going. And by the way, for those of you that have a short attention span, this video might get a little long, just so you know. You had your warning, so let's keep going. Now, the first comment I'm going to read, and this is from the video that I made yesterday, is, okay, this is all fine, Andrew. But don't be surprised if 9-to-5 employers don't want to hire you if you're not even willing to try to build stability in your career. And for people claiming YouTube is a real job, if it sure isn't, if it's paying the content creator less than $1,500 per month. It's also easy to find travel video content from all over the US these days. I appreciate your engagement in my comments. Well, he's not lying. I mean, this commenter is not lying. I mean, this commenter, I do have to admit, this individual does have a valid argument. Now, whether I agree with everything or not, I do have to be man enough to admit that this commenter does have a valid argument. Now, unfortunately, this commenter is correct. There are a lot of companies that if they know in advance that you're going to work for a few months and then you're going to quit, they're not going to want to hire you in the first place or hire somebody else. And that's why a few videos that I made, that's why I was suggesting that if you're going to live the traveling lifestyle like I want to live, you're going to probably have to work jobs that you may not necessarily want to work, and you're going to have to accept wages that are lower than what you're used to making, because a lot of the jobs that are more plus, that pay better, are going to require their employees to have some level of stability. And I realized that. And honestly, when it comes to work, I do not know how things are going to go as far as my ability to find a job. I don't know how it's going to go. It's one of those type of things that I'm going to just get out, whenever I feel I'm ready to get out here, I'm going to get out here and just, it's going to be what it's going to be. I mean, is it going to be a little bit of a risk? Yes, it is. It's going to be calculated risk. I mean, right now, I'm getting financial affairs in order as I speak. I have a few more months on my job before I would say, only a couple of months on my job left before before I approach my year anniversary, which at that point, I'll qualify for some paid vacation time off and a little bit of bonus money. So I figure I've been at this job for this long, I might as well stick it out and at least get those little perks. It may not be much, but I'm petty. I want my little perks. And this commenter is right. I mean, a lot of companies won't want to hire you if they know that you're going to work for a few months and then travel. In fact, I would say maybe a couple of years ago, I ran into a temp agency, and I told them straight up, I just want a job for a few months, and then I'm going to leave, and I'm going to come back. I told them straight up. And they didn't tell me straight up that they weren't going to give me a job. They just told me, okay, they gave me, the position that I was applying for, they basically gave me the runaround. So I knew what it was. So yeah, this commenter has a valid point. And I wanted to bring that up to you guys because for those of you that are thinking about adopting this life of being a part-time nomad, of being at least a part-time nomad, that's something to think about. For those of you that may not have your finances straight, for those of you that are trying to pay off a crap load of debt, that's something to consider before becoming a nomad. Whether it's part-time or full-time, is something that I think people need to consider. Which is why I suggest before you become a nomad, A, you have a home base, preferably one that's paid off, and B, you have a considerable amount of financial resources at your fingertips for that just in case type of a moment. Let's see what else here. And when he talks about YouTube not being a real job because of how little many content creators make, again, this individual is correct. I hate to say it. In fact, it's funny that this person said that because when I woke up this morning, I woke up, made some breakfast, and I cut on the computer to see what was going on in the YouTube world. Now, there is a channel much larger than mine, of course, who puts out traveling content. The channel's name is Southern Life. And he's been doing YouTube, I think, since 2019. His channel's got about 200,000 subscribers, and he's out of Florida. And he mentioned that him and his wife might have to leave Florida because financially they're not making it. And he mentioned how they were in debts. So despite his channel success, and also he mentioned that YouTube was paying less than what they used to pay, which I'm not surprised. I think YouTube is paying less than what they were paying before. And he also made reference to a channel larger than his even. I forgot what the name of the channel was, but that person made a video talking about how YouTube was cutting down on the pay. And of course, for those of you that are familiar with the gig economy, many of your gig work apps are also cutting down on the amount of money that they're paying drivers. So unfortunately, we're in economic times that are uncertain. 9 to 5 employers, in one way or another, they're cutting down on the money that they're paying employees. Your gig apps are cutting down on the money that they're paying their contractors. And YouTube, unfortunately, they've joined the bandwagon, and now they're doing basically the same thing. So when he talks about YouTube not paying enough to survive off of, this individual is absolutely correct on that. So for those of you that have been watching YouTube videos titled "Get your butt on YouTube, quit your 9 to 5, get your butt on YouTube," I would say that advice is bad advice unless you actually have the financial means to quit your 9 to 5 and do YouTube and still be able to pay all your bills. So again, that person has a valid argument there as well. Let's see what else this person said. And as far as companies not hiring you because you're not willing to build stability in your career, although the argument is valid, now me personally, I have always lived by the philosophy of whatever lifestyle that I choose to adopt, whatever job I choose to work, whatever occupation I choose to get into, as long as it pays enough for me to be able to pay my bills and have a little bit of money set aside for retirement. To me, that's the main thing I look at. I don't really get to zeroing in on careers and all that other type of stuff like a lot of people do. And I figure if I have to do stuff on the side to supplement my income from time to time, then I don't got no issue doing that. I've been doing that my entire adult life, so it's whatever. But this person does have a valid argument when they say that. And I just wanted to talk about that, just, because I try to be a fair person. I try to be realistic as possible on this channel. And it's only fair for those of you that follow me, it's only fair that you guys know as much of the truth as possible. So the lifestyle that I'm looking at living, are there risks? Of course there are. Nothing is going to be certain. One thing about life is nothing is 100, nothing is guaranteed. everything is going to involve taking some kind of risk, especially if you're trying to live your life a certain way. If you're trying to live a life that's kind of sort of off the beaten path, like I desire to, there's going to be an element of risk. There's going to be people that are going to question your decisions. It is what it is, and I'm willing to deal with that. I just want to make sure before I deal with that I got some resources lined up, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm getting my resources lined up. Let's see what else here. Okay, now this comment, it's a long one. Now, here's another comment. Although I agree with the viewer's opinion, although I don't agree with the viewer's opinion regarding to stop traveling per se. I mean, they're talking about the viewer that I responded to yesterday. However, I will agree that the nomad lifestyle by choice is more likely than not. And I don't understand all the different abbreviations. Matter of fact, this is what the person is saying. I'm not going to read this comment for verbatim. It's got a bunch of abbreviations. I don't know what the fuck they're saying. So I'm going to just kind of paraphrase what they're trying to say. Basically, what this person is saying is, I need to sustain a home base. And I also need to sustain a certain amount of financial resources. So whenever that what if situation occurs, I can deal with that accordingly. Or if something happens while I'm on the road, I have to get off the road temporarily, or I get tired of being on the road and I'm gonna get off the road for a while and take a little break. I got a home base to come home to do all that. And that's basically what the person is saying. And then this person went on, and then this individual, I mean, clearly this person follows Bob Wills. I'm pretty sure some of you at least know who Bob Wills is. Bob Wills is a YouTuber. He's got a large channel, over 700,000 subscribers. He's basically a nomad channel who puts out all kinds of content, nomad related. He does all type of interviews with people that are new to the nomad world. Sometimes he'll interview people that have been out in the nomad world for a minute. And what this other comment, what this person is saying is, despite the fact that Bob Wills, I mean, he's got a channel called Cheap RV Living. Go check him out. It's a phenomenal channel. He puts out a lot of good nuggets for those of you that want to be a nomad, whether part-time or full-time. I watch him all the time, so go check him out. But this person was saying that at the end of the day, Bob Wills has a nice paid-off structure that he probably goes home to every night. And at the end of the day, Bob Wills is not crapping in a 5-gallon bucket, as some of the people who we interviewed might be doing whenever they got to relieve themselves. And that person that person's got a very valid point. I even mentioned on this channel myself on several videos that if you're going to go out here and live a nomadic life, whether it be part-time or full-time, it's always good to have a home base. I mention that all the time. So this person, I'm assuming, is new to my channel, so maybe the video that I put out yesterday may have been the first video that they watched. But for those of you that this is your first video that you're watching of me, yes, if you're going to become a nomad, my suggestions are have a permanent home base, preferably one that's paid off. And yes, you do need to have a little savings, like maybe a minimum of $10,000. That way, whenever your rig breaks down, you'll have the funds to get it fixed. You'll have the funds to get a hotel room while your rig is being repaired. Or if you have to, you'll have a home base to come home to. That way, you're not going broke staying in hotels. So yes, I would suggest that if you're going to become a nomad, part-time or full-time, have a home base, and have a little nest egg set aside as well. And this person is probably right. And I've kind of guessed this myself about Bob Wells. I mean, off camera, Bob Wells probably does have a little home base. I mean, a little structure that's paid off. Now, one thing which I know for a fact that Bob Wells has, at least he did, because I would say several months ago he made a video of it, was he purchased a 20-acre lot somewhere up in northern Arizona. Now, I don't know if he's got a permanent structure on that lot or not. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But yes, Bob Wells does have a permanent home base. To my knowledge, he's got a 20-acre lot in northern Arizona. And he did have a homemade, I'll just say he did have a homemade rig that he built himself, that he was living out of on that lot. I don't know if he still has it or not, because again, a few months ago, he bought a Subaru SUV, and he was talking about downsizing into living in that SUV. I don't know if that was just for the sake of him traveling the country, or if that was gonna be he's gonna live in that SUV even when he goes back to his home base. I'm not sure. But yes, Bob Wells does have a home base. Whether it's got a structure, I don't know, and it doesn't really make a difference to me. So yes, definitely have some money set aside and have a home base as well, preferably one that's paid off if you're going to become a nomad. So hopefully this video helped you guys out today, and this video did not end up being quite as long as I anticipated. I just wanted to come out here and share a couple of comments with you people, because I think the two comments that I was talking about on this video, both of them had very valid arguments and points. And it's only fair and right that for those of you that follow me and you're thinking about quitting your job and traveling the country because that's what you want to do as well, it's only the right thing for me to expose some of the risk that's associated with that type of a lifestyle. And then some of the things that you can do to decrease that risk, I guess, which is why I call it calculated risk. All right, folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to check you guys later. Stay blessed.